Let me start with an anecdote that reflects the politics of image in Tamil Nadu. It was election time in the early 1980s. A group of journalists was sipping tea at a thatched stall in a rural town when the then DMK leader M. Karunanidhi's car passed by. The tea master, with a hint of disdain, remarked, "He's not even in power, but look how hot he is." He sped past without even acknowledging us. The next day, actor politician MGR drove by in a similar fashion. This time, however, the tea master's tone was entirely different. He said, "Look at how stylish our Vadyar is going." What's interesting about the story is how people's perceptions were shaped not by the political realities of the time, but by the image that each leader projected. This is the power of image in Tamil Nadu politics. Nearly half a century later, this contrast between the shrewd Karnatadi and the messianic MGR resonates in the way actor politician Vijay is viewed by the people today, particularly in the aftermath of the Karur Stampede. How and why? Vanakkam. This is T. Suresh Kumar. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Hindu Focus Tamil Nadu. It's been 12 days since the tragic crowd crush at Vijay's Tamalaga Vetri Kalagam rally in Karur, which claimed the lives of 41 people. While there is no denying that administrative failure played a role in this tragedy, early investigations suggest that a significant factor was the crowd's density, which surged after several hours of delay in Vijay's arrival at the rally venue. In its FIR, the Karur town police specifically mentioned that the organizers deliberately delayed the arrival of the star politician. However, despite these allegations, only two local TVK functionaries have been arrested, whereas key figures like the party General Secretary Busi Anand and Joint General Secretary CTR Nirmal Kumar remain untouched even after the anticipatory bail pleas were dismissed by the Madras High Court. Interestingly, Justice Senthil Kumar himself expressed concern over how the state was handling the issue. He suggested that the government appeared to be going soft on TVK leaders despite their apparent abandonment of the people at the rally. In fact, when video footage surfaced showing two-wheeler riders falling near Vijay's campaign caravan, the court questioned why a hit and run charge was not filed. Yet, the Stalin government's response has been surprisingly cautious, with the arrest of a few YouTubers and social media warriors sympathetic to TVK, but no significant action taken against party leaders. This is in stark contrast to the political demands, including from the DMK's ally, Tol Tirumavalan, the leader of the Vidudalai Chirthaikal Kachi, who has called for Vijay's arrest. Now, why this caution? The answer perhaps lies in Vijay's unshakable core support base. Despite widespread criticism from the media and public personalities for not meeting the victims or addressing the tragedy on the spot, Vijay's supporters, including the families of the deceased, have shown little or no anger towards him. Instead, they expressed gratitude for his video calls to the grieving families 10 days after the incident. On the ground, people continue to blame the police for inadequate security measures and feel the tragedy was part of a broader political conspiracy to thwart Vijay's rise in politics. For many rational thinkers, this blind adulation of a film star, especially in an era where education and development are supposed to make us more discerning, is baffling. The symbiotic relationship between cinema and politics in Tamil Nadu has long been established, but many believed the time of film stars as political messiahs had passed with MGR's death in 1987. The failures of personalities like Shivaji Ganesan and Kamal Haasan in politics seem to confirm that the age of the cinema politician was over. Yet, in Vijay's case, this perception is far from clear cut. His popularity continues to grow, and surveys suggest that in certain constituencies he is fast becoming the second most preferred choice. His presence at rallies, particularly his appeal to women voters, cannot be ignored. and it would be premature to dismiss him as just another fleeting film personality. But what has contributed to this image trap? First, Vijay entered politics at the height of his film career, converting his fan club into a political entity. Just as MGR was hailed as Unga Veetu Pillai, the son of your home, Vijay has branded himself as Unga Vijay, your Vijay, presenting himself as someone who had already entered the hearts and homes of the people long before his political plunge. But this is where the similarities with MGR end. While MGR's appeal was rooted in his image as a man of the people, someone who rose from humble beginnings and played the savior in his films, Vijay's background is different. He was launched in films by his director father S.A. Chandrasekhar and is best known for his masala movies. MGR's political persona, shaped by years of association with the DMK, was a seamless extension of his screen image. But Vijay, despite his massive popularity, lacks the party structure and political experience that MGR had when he founded the AIADMK in 1972. As a result, Vijay's party is essentially a one-man show. And this became painfully apparent during the Karur tragedy when Vijay, after the incident, withdrew into a shell, leaving his cadres clueless about how to handle the aftermath. Despite these limitations, Vijay has still found political acceptance beyond his fan base. Many believe that his decision to give up a lucrative film career, where he reportedly earns rupees 200 crore for film, signals his genuine desire to serve the people. This is despite his history of legal battles over seeking entry tax exemptions for imported luxury vehicles and non-disclosure of income and facing income tax penalties. Beyond Vijay's own image trap, his growing appeal also points to a deeper issue: the trust deficit in the Dravidian parties who have dominated Tamil Nadu politics for decades. The post-Jayalalitha era in the AIADMK has seen a decline in women's loyalty to the party. The current AIADMK leadership under Edappadi K. Palaniswamy has not been able to effectively challenge the ruling DMK, which has further alienated women voters. While newer parties like Seeman's Namathamula Katchi, which prioritizes women by offering 50% of election tickets to them, have capitalized on this dissatisfaction, Vijay is also attracting a significant women population. The DMK under MK Stalin has attempted to address women's welfare through welfare schemes like the Kalanjar Magalir Urumai Togai, which is a women's monthly rights grant scheme, and the Pudumai Pen scheme. But the goodwill has been marred by the rude behavior and derogatory remarks of some DMK ministers and senior leaders. A former minister even referred to the women's zero ticket bus travel scheme as OC, a colloquial term for freeloading. And an MP made dismissive comments about the rupees 1000 monthly grant for women, claiming they were able to use this money to buy cosmetics. These remarks have deeply irritated many women, fueling a growing sense of alienation. To make matters worse, baseless conspiracy theories about the Karur tragedy have gained traction, partly due to the presence of DMK local strongman Senthil Balaji at the government hospital shortly after the incident. This despite the fact that former AIADMK minister Vijay Bhaskar had arrived much before Senthil Balaji. The image of the DMK as a dynastic party, combined with the failure of both Dravidian parties to connect with contemporary youth, has increased this trust deficit, not to speak about corruption charges. Now, how will Vijay differentiate himself from the Dravidian parties? That remains unclear, as he too has embraced the politics of flex sports and hero worship similar to the established leaders. While his support base is significant, especially as the lone crowd puller in the Tamil Nadu political landscape, it is still too early to predict if his popularity extends beyond the typical 10 to 15% base that often supports any new political player challenging the establishment. The current political landscape is fluid. With elections at least 7 months away, much depends on how alliances are formed, how the DMK addresses its trust deficit, and whether Vijay falters in his political game. A clearer picture may emerge by late December or early January, but for now, one thing is certain: Vijay has rattled the established players, which is why both the AIADMK and BJP are courting him and why the Stalin government is wary of taking strong action against TVK leaders. They know that any such move could strengthen Vijay's position and weaken the DMK. We will continue to monitor how these dynamics unfold in the coming months and keep you posted. On that note, this is D. Suresh Kumar signing off. I shall meet you in another video. Thank you.